Oh, there we go.
Recording in progress.
Fucking live.
Can you hear us all right?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. We're on.
Baby.
All right. Hi.
Eve Thomas in the house.
Welcome to our
Well,
podcast.
not this house. You know,
Not
because she's the
in-
other side of the fucking world.
Yeah, it's true.
How is Japan?
It's fine. It's sunny. I almost had a really traumatic start to the morning, but I dealt with it like an adult. It was fine. There was a
Impressive.
cockroach in my house,
Oh my god.
and I know. I think Rich knows that I'm
A bit scared.
fucking
Of them.
terrified of cockroaches. And the last time that happened in Japan 4 years
Well,
ago.
it's with one. That's me.
Oh.
All crazy people.
Sorry. He's telling me off. He's been telling me off all night.
I know. Sorry. How did you deal with the cockroach?
I managed to catch it in a glass and put it in an unsuspecting neighbour's garden.
Hopefully that person isn't watching this podcast. I mean, I'm sure they're not. I mean, that'd be mental if they were. But you know.
That'd be quite funny if there were.
I'd be concerned that I would have some kind of local stalker if they were, but
That is a possibility for you though. Like you've already had like a Morrison stalker, right?
I've had a few stalkers in my time. But let's not get into that.
Okay, we won't talk about.
Well, it's all good content.
Yeah, we won't encourage the stalking. It's
How's England? How was your gig?
all right. It was good. I think we played well. It was there weren't many people in, which is a shame. But you know, these things happen. Molly was great. She got she did a really good job. Unfortunately, wasn't more in there to watch her, but yeah, it was good. It was all right.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, very warm in there. But I thought performance-wise, I thought we did great. Great job.
Legend.
I also
Standard.
thought it was. I also thought it was going to be cold, so I double layered the trousers. So I had jogging bottoms.
You double-layered the trousers. Jesus Christ, man.
I know. I'm cold. I'm a southerner. I'm cold all the time.
In Bristol.
So yeah. So what's been? Have you got anything booked in to go and do open mic wise or anything like that?
No. There was two. Well, no, I thought there were two. Last week on like Tuesday and Wednesday, and I was all ready to get me little cheap guitar and put it down into Sendai for them. But then it turned out they're not on anymore.
Oh no!
I think they're much more serious about COVID here still. Like everyone wears masks, even like out on the street. So
Okay.
I think that is affecting things. There was there used to be quite a lot of music events, and now they're just like indefinitely cancelled.
Oh dear.
But I have been taking my
sucks.
guitar into lots of schools, and the kids like it, so I mean, it's better than now, right?
Did you get to play to that librarian that's your friend that you've made?
Not yet. We've got a date arranged. It's Wednesday in fifth period. I'm doing a Toshoshitsu Raibu, as she keeps calling it, like
What's
a
that? Sorry, say that.
live.
Say that again slowly for us. We don't speak that language.
Toshoshitsu Raibu. It just
Oh.
means library room live.
Library room live. Can you
Library
live
room
stream
live,
it so I
yeah.
can watch?
What
content.
time would it be in
Yeah,
England?
great content.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Just wake me up. I'll watch that for sure.
Either
I'd love
live
to see
stream it or if you can video record
Video
it, that'd
for
be
us.
brilliant.
I'd love to see that shit.
I'll try, but
Content
I
that's
don't
on it.
know.
Would genuinely like to see that. That'd be pretty cool, man. Playing in the library.
for like 2 members of staff.
So if you don't know people, why would you know? Most people wouldn't know. I think it's 8 hours ahead of us. Are you in Japan? So
Yeah, but yeah, and when your
Yeah.
clocks change at the end of the month, I'll be 9 hours ahead.
okay, right, okay.
Don't they change in Japan?
Nah, because Japan's not as
Sensible.
mental as us in certain ways.
Not quite as mental on the clock front.
So you had a bit of a so you had a bit of a sleep in this morning then, eh?
No, I just lost track of time. I'm sorry. I just thought I had ages, and I was just eating and playing my guitar and pottering about. And then I was like, oh, that's out there waiting for me. Sorry.
So what's your plans for this weekend then? You got anything planned?
Well, to be honest, that cockroach has given me a bit of a kick up the ass, and I'm thinking I'm going to really thoroughly clean my house.
Rock and roll.
That sounds dreadful.
I know it's going to be really, really grim, especially because the weather's so nice. I should go on.
You should definitely go out and see
Yeah.
Japan, not clean your house back.
Sack the cleaning off big time.
But then again, you don't really want to see cockroaches, do you? It's not.
I really don't want to see cockroaches.
It's not a good
ever.
part. So, the reason I'm wearing sunglasses is not to try and look cool, by the way. It's because my eyes hurt from being the light shining at me, and it's really late here. So, early. It's already Saturday, officially.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, is it past midnight?
Yes.
Oh, happy October.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, 1st of October. Wow. Yeah.
So
Excellent.
Dodgy's birthday soon as well. Which reminds me, why you ask Eve how she started getting into music? We actually get on with something in the podcast other than just talking shit.
Shall I ask?
Oh, yes, sorry. I just
I'm
feel
gonna
like I'm
go-
on the floor.
Well, no, that's the vibe we go for anyway. So if you were here, it'd be the same shit, just chilling on the sofa, drinking tea, eating sweets. Should I fancy some? Should we break it? Should we get to roses? I'm gonna get a rose. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, he's off to go. He's into the chocolates already. I've got to be careful. I had a massive hypo earlier on getting out the shower.
Really?
All I remember is thinking to myself in the shower, I feel really weird. I think I need to get out. And then next thing, I'm downstairs in the kitchen, completely naked, stuffing down half a packet of biscuits.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. That just sounds like a normal Saturday for me.
Well, yeah. But I came round and it's just like, I looked at and it's like, well, that was a full packet. So I'd eaten half a packet of biscuits and I'd come round and I'm just like, oh. So, and it kind of wipes me out a little bit. But then as soon as we started playing tonight, I was fine. But I've just had to keep an eye on it a little bit.
Well, that's good that you were all right. And good that you were able to deal with it even when you were not fully with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had it before where I've literally crawled down the stairs to get to the kitchen because I've been unable to stand. But it's really weird. Some bits I remember, some bits I have a total blank of about a couple of minutes, something like that, 5-10 minutes. It's mental.
Shit. Oh,
So,
oh,
anyway.
oh.
Onto
I hope you're feeling all right now.
the podcast questions because it's about you.
I'm gonna give you. Hang on. I'm gonna before we do stuff about her. I'm gonna give you your birthday card now because I'm not gonna see you.
Oh, thanks. So there is an envelope.
Yeah, I found the envelope. Yeah. There you go.
Brilliant.
So happy
thanks,
birthday,
dude.
Dodgy.
It's actually on Monday.
He's 73 on Monday.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah,
Oh, he knows the people, didn't he?
I shouldn't say that in the podcast.
What did you just say? We'll have to bleep
I
that
said,
one
I
out.
said we're going to have to bleep that out. Yeah.
I already swore once. Are we not meant to swear?
No, we can
You can
swear,
swear, but
but,
just try not to drop the C one, It's like.
but I seem to drop it too naturally when I'm around you guys. It's you're the bad influence, both of you.
I knew we'd be in.
I almost accidentally put that. I was not really paying attention when I logged into this call. And because that was the password for this call, I almost put that as my username.
You should have done that.
In capital letters. Then I was like, wait a second.
That's it. Right. Have you seen this card? Well, you must have done, I think.
I think I've shown her the card
Somewhere
before.
right now, someone is thinking about how fantastic you are. It's not me. I think you're a knob.
Yeah, he's shown me before.
But
He
you
said that
still
one
deserve a
once in
very
while.
happy birthday.
Show the
And
camera
I-
how funny I am.
And I read, and he's left the price on the back.
Obviously.
Classic.
So you know how much I love you.
Oh, that's a great.
And then on the inside, but you still deserve a very happy birthday. And I'm reading it how it's supposed to be said. Love you. Cheers, dude.
You're
It's
right,
awesome.
mate. Happy birthday for Monday.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I didn't get you a card.
Oh, it's all right.
Keeps it quiet because when he gets to 82, it's gonna be a hard one for him.
I'm just looking forward to getting to 50. One big ass fucking party.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna have the big old joint party, aren't we? For 30.
Oh yeah, for our 10s. Yeah. Well, didn't we work out they didn't actually make much sense? We just finding excuses for doing it because you're not actually till January, right?
Yeah.
Are you 3-0 this time, Eve?
No,
No,
I'll
in
be
3 years.
27, thank you.
27.
I thought you were already
right, right.
27. I thought you were going to be 28.
No, I'll be 27 in January.
So in those 27 years, at what point within that 27 years did you first get into music?
Smooth, dude. Nice.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Sneaking,
Ninja
sliding them in like a
Hmm.
slippery, sneaky snake.
I hope this audio is picking it up, by the way.
What's that?
I really hope these bikes have been, the audio's been recorded.
It will be.
That's good.
It should be.
I can hear you fine, so it should
Okay,
be.
that'll be fine.
You've told Zoom what audio device to use, so I don't see why not.
That'd be cool. Sorry,
Sorry, yeah, carry on, Eve. Right.
podcast start now.
When? I don't really remember not being into music. Well, my brothers
That's
are
a
all
great
older
answer.
than me. My brothers, yeah, are older than me, and my youngest brother is also musical. And so I remember like listening to him playing the piano and the flute when I was like 4, and he was like 8. And I remember sitting there and thinking it was really cool and that I wanted to do it too. That was probably the reason why I took up the piano, to be honest. I always used to like listen to him and want to play.
So piano was your first then?
Oh yeah. Piano was my first. I started piano properly when I was like 6, I guess.
Nice.
I haven't played the
Oh,
guitar till I was 15.
15.
15. Oh wow. So yeah, do you still play the guitar, the piano now?
I do. Well, not right now because I don't have a piano in Japan.
Well, yeah.
But
Clearly.
yeah, I don't know. I've not had like enough time over the past few years, which makes me sad. But I go through phases where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really bad at the piano now. I need to start playing again, and then I'll like get a few pieces really good, and then I'll not play it again for a few months. And it's a bit of a stupid cycle, but I'm looking forward to getting back to England and playing it properly again. I do still play though, I would say, yeah.
I remember when I did when we were recording Eve's album in our studio, and I remember when we were trying to put piano. I put piano on something or other, and I remember like her face. She's trying not to offend me because she's like, "It sounds nothing like a real piano." She's like, a proper piano snub. You know, like,
Oh, really?
and the interesting thing wasn't that you would try. It was that you were so offended, like literally so offended that you were trying to hide. Because normally you just be like, you tell him you didn't like it, but you were so offended by the fact that my piano was so bad that you were like, "Can I tell him that he's that bad at the piano?"
Was he doing it live, like
No,
actually on the MIDI
it was
keyboard?
MIDI. I can't do
Oh, it was all MIDI.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you definitely seem like someone who was into the piano. So
Oh,
So
yeah.
did you play like pieces, or were you sort of like all your own stuff?
Oh, God, no. I never wrote anything of my own until, well, I wrote a song when I was 16, but it was kind of a one-off. And then I wrote one when I was 17. It was very sporadic. I didn't really write anything properly until I was like 22, I guess. But yeah, the piano, I did classical. I studied it before I studied Japanese.
Nice.
I went to the conservatoire in Scotland to do piano performance. Yeah.
every time she speaks, I feel dumber. Shit.
I dropped out though, so don't worry. I'm a
Oh, it's
failure.
okay then. Yeah, no, fuck you, still did it.
Drop out, bitch! Yay! Woo.
Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't resist. There's going to be a few of them dropping in this podcast, I'm
We
sure.
should probably explain that we each have a little guitar keyring that Eve got us before you left. It says a word and then the word bitch. So
Yeah,
Dudsy's,
It's our
I'm the
little
ginger
link.
bitch.
and then Eve's cheeky bitch, and then for some reason mine's actually offensive, and is whiny bitch.
He's not going to live that down, is he? Really? He can't handle it, Eve. You know.
I understand they're all facts, but like mine hurts way more than yours. Do you know what I mean? It cuts me to
I
the
think
soul.
that's a problem in you rather than a problem with my wording choice.
I don't disagree. I'm not yet. Here we are. Just, you know, right. Just attack mental illness on our podcast. Fine. We actually sponsored by.
So like, Eve, I was doing lots of it. We were doing lots of it to each other tonight on the gig. It's part of the act,
of the
I
banter.
suppose, where we just rip into each other.
I just think we don't really. We just do what we, what we normally like.
It's just natural. It's just natural to us, really. You know.
So what?
Well, I think,
Go
yeah,
on.
we all know that we're kidding, so like it doesn't matter, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't think any of us three could actually offend each other.
It'd be funny if like.
Kidding? Who said anybody was kidding?
Yeah, he's not kidding. He hates you. I think I think there's a problem. It'd be interesting when someone actually is offended and says it, and no one's going to pay attention and just continue ripping the piss, and that person's going to be actually upset. And we're just like carry on. No one's going to know.
We all know if anybody does it, it'll be Dudsy.
Oh yeah, you can see he's going to get actually offended. Yes,
Me get offended? Never.
So if you pick on him all
I
the
don't
time,
get
that's why.
offended. I never get offended.
You do sometimes.
No,
Back to you.
definitely. Yeah. Anyway, back to the podcast. Piano.
Oh yeah, but the piano's irrelevant, right? Because I play the guitar and sing now. So
Why did you first pick up the guitar? Like, what made you want to change from piano, or not change, but also play the guitar? Like, has that? Because like, if you were doing classical, I thought you'd have picked up like a a violin or viola or cello or
I
whatever.
did also play the violin actually,
You're
but
too
that's
silly for
irrelevant too. Yeah, probably am.
Definitely are.
I
definitely am as well.
Hark at the short one doing short jokes.
I'm not. It's not a joke. It was fact. I'm just saying.
I am slightly smaller than him, so let him have his moment, Dusty.
Okay. I'll let him have that one.
Come on.
Just this once.
I think it was probably. I mean, I've always loved singing, and I guess there's the awareness of if you can play the guitar, you can accompany yourself while you're singing. That was the main thing, I guess. But then I got into Laura Marling. Have you heard of her?
I have heard of it. Yeah.
I got into her when I was like 15, and I just thought she was really fucking cool. I've never been the type to be like, oh, this famous person's really cool, but I just really loved her and I loved the songs. And I just wanted to be able to do that. So I bought a guitar, purple guitar.
Purple guitar.
Yeah, I still have
Good
it.
colour.
It's my original guitar. And yeah, and I the first song I learned was one of hers. Well, I probably like the first bloody, I don't know, lots of songs that I learned were all her songs off her first album and that. And I just got right into it. So I used to just play other people's songs, I just would figure out chords and play stuff that I liked. And then eventually, I don't know why I wrote a song, but eventually I did. It just happened,
Probably
I
something
guess.
depressing happened.
I think we were
Write a
talking.
song. That's what normally happens.
I'm sure we were talking about it on the podcast last night with James that the majority of guitar players do actually sort of like learn other people's songs first,
Yeah.
just to sort of like get a grip with it, and then obviously later on down the line start writing.
I didn't. I did like kind of start. I learned like my first kind of like 6-7 songs with covers, but I already had like songs. The reason I learned the guitar is because I wanted. It was a means to an end. It was like Eve just said, it's something you can accompany yourself to. And I already had like Spotlight written when I was like 14 or something. I mean, that's when I learned the guitar. So I already had it in my head. That's how I wanted that song to be like. So I had like 3 or 4. I mean, I play some of them sometimes. The older ones are just fucking terrible. But like I had those songs written. So I wanted to learn the guitar so I could play along with those songs on the guitar. And then a friend of mine, I knew he could sing. And eventually like I ended up doing. He didn't play guitar, he just sang, and I played the guitar, then I started doing harmonies. That's when I first started doing harmonies. But I did the opposite way around. Like, so I learned a few covers and then went to like, right, I'm going to learn the chords to this song I've got in my head. That's because that's something terrible.
Interesting brain.
I can't say that.
Well, yeah, we can mute that out.
We're going to have to bleep all these words out.
No, that's
Peter, we're gonna have to block the whole screen out. Just my section here, just for people that can lip read. It wasn't that offensive.
So when did you? Because you've got like a lot of songs.
quite a few.
You said you've only been like really writing them for like 5 years, right?
Yeah,
4 and a
not
bit
even
years.
That, yeah, something like that, I guess. Just that. Yeah, I mean, I did write a few when I was a bit younger, but they're like terrible. I would never play. I feel like the
want to hear
first,
those ones.
the first.
You'll have no. You've got no choice. Eve. You're gonna have to play them at some point.
I'll play you
Next time you're
I'll
out.
play you my terrible old ones if you play me your terrible old ones.
Okay, yeah, that seems
That's
fair.
fair.
Right? There's one that I wrote when I was 19, and very occasionally I do play that to people. That one, it's not terrible. It's just a bit nondescript, but I'm fond of it in a weird way. But other than that, I would say the first reasonable song that I wrote that I actually play in front of people, it was probably when I was 23. I reckon I've been wondering lately. I wrote that when I was 23, and
Such a great
I
tune.
think that
That's a
was probably
fucking
the
brilliant
start.
tune.
After that, I started writing reasonable songs, I guess. I still write some shit ones.
No, just ones that aren't quite as good as the other ones. But you've got like a really good like songwriting style. Like it's very
Unique.
it's unique, but it's there's lots of words and lots of like clever words. Like you use clever words to make the song sound prettier, which is impressive. But it's still they still retain the meaning. Like you're not just putting in pretty words. But you've done your research on the words, worked out. You're a clever girl, so you know good words. But when you're putting the songs together, like you still. I'm always impressed that you get to use really clever words and retain the story. Because I always find if I try and use clever words, I'm kind of being a little bit, veer off a little bit because that word's better, But you always seem so. I think, but all your songs are like that, which is quite impressive. So I just wondered, like, when you realized you could really write songs like that, or if you even know you can, or you just started writing.
I just start writing. I mean, I love words. Obviously, I'm a fucking language geek. We all know that. So I guess that part of it is like, I enjoy writing lyrics. I really do.
Yeah.
But I don't think about them too hard. I usually just get like a kind of wave of inspiration. I'll just be like, I've got to write all this down. I mean, I steal a lot of things from like words and stuff. When I'm reading books, I'll be like, that's fucking great words. And I make notes on my phone, and then eventually.
Yeah. I do that with podcasts for like and anti-establishment like things. I've listened to a podcast and I'll hear someone say something like, that's really fucking good. I'll make a note of that. And then I'll write a song, I write a song based on. Sorry.
It's amazing where song ideas come from. I mean, where are your ideas just about life in general, or things that have happened, or
some of them are about things that happen and it's really depressing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think a lot of them are, even if not explicitly, at least based on things that are happening in my life at the time. Yeah. And me emotions. I'm quite fucking over emotional, if we're honest. I cover it well. But like,
no, you don't. What are you talking about?
I'm an artiste, all right? It's what we do.
That's cool. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying. I think it's hilarious. You think you cover it well, but that's okay.
You have to excuse me. I'm just having to have a little bit of a thingy bar.
Oh, look at you dosing up.
Dosing up on sugar, baby.
Like 20 past 8. I don't think I should start eating chocolate yet. Or should I?
I had a chocolate. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I know, but it's night time for you. It's like I've just got up.
Any better? Mate, crack on. Get some chocolate, don't you?
Tea.
Chocolate for breakfast, nice.
That's how we like to live our lives.
I'm trying not to crunch down the microphone, so I'm just kind of holding it away.
Very professional. So yeah, so I don't know how to get to the answer that I want from this question. But like,
I'm doing a terrible job. Sorry.
No. It's because like I just find it like most people don't write songs the way you write songs. But what is interesting is that Dudsey writes songs quite similar to you, whereas I write like very traditionally. I think verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. A lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, I like that pattern. But like Dudsey, you'll just write. So there's no like he'll have like 8 lines followed by 4 lines, then a 6 line, and then like a 2 3s followed by 4. And I'm like, I don't get how it gets in, but we always work it into a song that always works really, really well. But I don't know how to write like that because I my brain's weird, I guess. I need that kind of pattern of I know where I am. So, but you kind of just write a lot. Yours hasn't. Most of your songs don't have a traditional like verse, chorus, then a verse and a chorus.
Yeah, in recent years, well, I only started writing songs in recent years. In recent years, I've actually
back when
tried
I was
more.
23 and I started writing songs.
Yeah, I know. No, like in more recent times, I have actually tried to aim for the whole verse, chorus, middle 8 chorus things because my mum really doesn't like the fact that a lot of my songs are just rambling, and oftentimes she'll say like, there's bits that I really like, but like,
hi Katrina,
what the
by the
fuck
way.
was the rest of that? Yeah, sorry, mum. My dad's probably watching. Hopefully, he doesn't tell us.
Hi, Eve's dad.
Hey. Yeah, so I have tried to aim more for that, but it doesn't always work out. I feel like it's because once I start getting the inspiration, it's just like a really weird rambling stream of my inner consciousness, which I actually don't think is a good thing because, I don't know, you're saying it like it's good, and I'm glad if you enjoy it. Sometimes
I don't necessarily... I think your songs are great, so I obviously think it's good, but I don't necessarily think I don't think the opposite is bad. I just find it interesting how people like write that way because that's not how my brain, I guess, needs some sort of order. I don't know why, but
it's just amazing where the inspiration comes from. Sometimes, sometimes it can be some words, sometimes it can be a riff, and then you make the words fit. Or the other way around, you write the words first and then you make the music fit. It's just amazing where all the inspiration comes from.
I think it's good that there's different ways you can do it as well. I don't think any way is right or wrong. I think
that's the beauty of music. There are no limits.
Yeah, you know, it's good. It's good that people write differently, and otherwise, you know, every music would be the same. You know, all that music would be the same, so that would be crap. So yeah, I think it's. I
Have
think
you got
that's
a
really
title
interesting.
name? Sorry if I'm. With a-
Mike, have you got a name for your album yet?
Have you got a name for the album? Have you?
No, actually, when I was on the train last week or 2 weeks ago, I started thinking of loads of random words and phrases and writing them down as potential titles, but now I can't remember what any of them were. But I'll have a look later.
I know.
See if any of them are good.
I think it could be cool in Japanese, but meaning like so. Whatever you think of as the album name, maybe do it in Japanese instead. Is that too corny? Is that too corny? Too cheesy?
I liked to, when I sent you one of Eve's songs that I'd mastered, and you said it sent you into a hippie sway. I thought like
Hippie sway.
I thought hippie sway or like hippie days would be pretty cool. Not like, you know, DAZE.
And you know what you mean, yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Fucking mansplaining.
Put me
Sorry,
down, what do you
internet.
take me for? Nah,
You know, not the kind of days where you know you stand there with your hands in your pockets and you sway from side to side. Sorry,
All
I
right,
couldn't
so
resist.
you don't need to mention it every time.
You know, when we do this video for Fingerprints, are you gonna like do one of those sways just for us?
It has to go in there somewhere.
Just put it in.
Oh, of course.
So when I did, what was it? It was when I opened the centre stage with Rich because Sudsy was ill, right? It was that time. And we sang a couple of
Yeah.
NA.
Then you
Yeah,
saw
that was
videos
about the
back.
start of when you started sneaking into everything, wasn't it?
Probably somewhere midway in, but
She was already getting a clause in, mate. Don't worry.
behind the scenes, you know. I don't know, maybe that was the first you knew of it. Sorry.
Oh, you're so good at picking on duds. It's great.
Well,
I'm sorry.
you know, I'm going to be nice now. I'm going to be nice now. I wouldn't have wanted any other person to do it.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Right, that's it. I'm not nice anymore. Right, let's go,
I
bitch.
wouldn't want anyone else to take over my band.
No, it was fun though. It was a great honor for me, and like
So-
I don't know, I love getting to do your songs. It's so different to what I normally do. It makes me feel like
Yeah.
proper
That's good.
pop star. You know?
You're a pop star. You're one of our favorites. But it's good. You know, it's really fun to do. It's awesome for you to stand. Awesome of you to stand in as well.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
really-
the point
really-
is, it turns out I act like a 6-year-old child when I'm nervous and I don't have a guitar to hold, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with my body, so I just like clung onto my dress and was just like swaying, and I didn't even realize. And then afterwards, my mum was like, "Eve, what are you doing?" I was like,
know,
"What?
the,
What did I do? What did I do?"
You know, the funny thing was, is I was like playing guitar, and I was obviously singing, and when I sing with Eve, like I got to very carefully look at her to follow like the way she sings, because it's not rigid enough. Like, you know how we're like, you know,
Wait, is it the tempo like
you know
this?
how we sing in time and rhythm.
I just do what the
Yeah.
fuck I want. to be
It's
honest.
not so. But I remember looking across, and I could see her swaying, and I was just trying not to piss myself, trying to play and concentrate. I was like, why is she swaying? She didn't stop. Just constant. I always was like, I'm gonna like go into a trance just watching her sway from side to side like a pendulum.
Oh, I couldn't believe it when I saw the video back. I was mortified.
You'll have to do, even if it's just a couple of seconds. You'll have to, you know, for this fingerprints video. You'll have to.
You have to do a little
You
sway.
have to do a little
You
sway
have to give us a little sway.
just for us.
I'll do a little sway. In fairness, I can't count, so it's probably all just going to be one long sway. Let's be honest.
I'm looking forward to the Kate Bush style. If no one knows what we're talking about, Eve's sings on 2 of the songs from our new album. So we're doing some little promotional videos, and we're going to do one of us dancing for Fingerprints, which is going to be the first song on the new album as well, when we finally can get it mastered right.
Yes, it's very close.
Very
It's not
close.
far off.
Anyway, so we're going to do a video. So that's what we're talking about. We're going to get Eve to do a patented sway.
Yes, they're trying to get me to make a tit of myself on camera, give them more ignition.
Don't worry, we're going to be exactly the same. I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah,
I'm gonna,
no,
I'm
you're
gonna
not,
find the
though.
most. I'm gonna find the most ridiculous dance move or something, and
can't
just do it. Yeah.
Dance at all. I'm just gonna mosh for the whole time.
I know but aren't you only doing like shadows though? Like I actually have to show my full self. You're just
I'm going to be like big box,
shadow.
little box sort of stuff.
Yeah, but I still can't dance. Like just because my shadow isn't better dancing than me. You know what I mean?
I just mean.
Yeah, his shadow's scared of him.
Yeah, he probably is. He's like, oh, gosh, that bastard again. Shit.
No, not again.
Oh, that's him again.
Right, I'm
every summer, it's like, ah, Jesus. 3 months. This dickhead. Sorry, it's been a long day. Oh. All right, what was the other questions we had to ask?
Do we do the desert island one, or is there another one
it's
before
too early.
that?
It's too early.
It's too early for that.
for that.
It's way too early for that.
We haven't. We've only got 2 questions in.
We're in
Oh, I know. What are your what are your influences? We touched on it earlier, but you haven't. I know you listen to.
You mentioned one artist, but have you got like any others?
All right, yeah. So people ask me this a lot, and I never quite know. So I don't actively think about it, I suppose. But I mean, obviously it'll be whatever I'm listening to at the time. Like right now, I'm in the real Smiths phase, and then I wrote a song the other day, and Rich said that it sounded very reminiscent of the Smiths.
Oh yeah, it's very Smith-like.
So I guess it probably changes. But I'd say my biggest one probably overall is Iron and Wine. Do you know one?
Yes, I know.
No.
Yeah. Really, real sort of folky, chilled out kind of guy. Yeah.
Love him, and I have done for years, and I love his lyrics, and I love that he just like he has that same thing that you were on about before, where he doesn't necessarily
A
have
stream
like
of consciousness. Yeah.
goes on, and it's really beautiful, and they don't always make sense, but they just sound great, and I've always loved that. So I'd say that's probably my biggest influence. But then otherwise, I mean, in general folk, I love like Laura Marling, I love Bob Dylan, and some weird stuff. I love Kate Bush.
Ah, yes.
Kate
Who
Bush.
doesn't?
Absolute treasure, that lady.
Absolute
Yeah,
fucking bonkers, but yes, unbelievable artist. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kate Bush, but that's
If you're listening.
true.
I don't think she'll care what you think. To be perfectly
To be honest, no, not.
He's not going to be like, oh no, that's it, it's over. I'm going to quit music. Dunk said, oh shit, bonkers. That's it. I've done enough. Can't do anymore. Oh no, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She really is amazing. I love Wuthering Heights is one of my favorite songs of all time. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
always
again,
have
that
it.
album, that first album she did was kind of like it just. I mean, to say it was what late 70s, I think. That first album she did, and it pushed the boundaries hugely, massively, in terms of sort of songwriting and the way she did stuff. It was like very much like yourself. She was very unique for that time, and a lot of people didn't get it. I mean, I think I was too young at that point to actually get it. I didn't really understand music at such young age. So it was only until later on in life that I started to understand how unique and how fucking amazing she is, or she was and is still.
Mm.
She is fucking.
So any others than Kate Bush and Iron and Wine? Any others that you've grown up
I've got a
with?
good question.
Did your mum play you? Did you listen to stuff that your mum listened to? Or?
No.
Weirdly, not really. Like with my mum, she was the inspiration with classical music. She used to put classical music on when we were in the car, and she got me into a lot of piano stuff, a lot of like Grieg and Tchaikovsky and stuff like that. But then she also loves Mozart, and I have always hated Mozart. So that's where me and my mum differ.
Do you know what's really funny is that I didn't actually know that Eve was into classical music this much, and I've sent her quite a few tracks from the new album, and she's always commented and said how amazing they are. And I sent her classical. She didn't say a word about it.
What?
She didn't even mention it. She didn't even. I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like,
Jesus, right? Okay.
and that's interesting because it's a classical piece, but I've given it to someone who actually understands classical music. So maybe
No,
She's not said a
whoa.
fucking thing. Well, maybe
No, that must have just been an accident oversight.
thought-
Did you send me it like late at night or something?
I don't know why. I don't know what times we like. It's too much effort to add 8 hours onto what I'm doing just to work out when I'm speaking to you.
Definitely would not have just ignored. I don't even remember listening to it. Is that bad? Does that make it worse?
To be honest, I was just joking. I don't really care.
I think
I
I've
enjoy
played it. I'm sure I've played you in the studio, and you really enjoyed it.
Maybe.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's a
absolutely.
definite. But obviously, if Rich has sent you a final a final piece of it and you've not said anything, well, that's quite
Have
disheartening,
you
to be honest.
have you enjoyed the new album so far?
Oh, I love it. Every track you send me, I listen to them because you usually send me them when it's like the middle of the night here, and then I wake up to them. So I listen to them on the bus. Love it. Great.
Cool.
Watching Japan go past the windows with their
Getting played in
new
Japan is pretty
album.
cool.
Nice,
I
that's
need to get
awesome,
into
yeah.
Japan.
Yeah,
The question I had, it was a really good question, and it may sound a little bit self-serving, but it's not meant that way. Like, did get into the studio with us for like Fingerprints and Cranberry, and obviously the stuff that we did in the studio, because I remember when you came in, you were, as most people are, determined to only record, no, I just want guitars and my voice. And then they start to show them what you can do, and they decide that they want the whole album to be that way. Like most people. Like, has that had any like effect on your songwriting at all? Or any like knowing what you can do in the studio? Like, has that like made you look at any songs differently, or do you still put like the live performance first and then see what we can do afterwards? You know.
Good question. To be honest, though,
Told you.
not bad,
I know.
but I think you're going to be disappointed with the answer. Because to be honest, I don't think it has changed my songwriting
Fuck you.
method.
How dare you?
No, just because I like the excitement of going into the studio and not knowing what we're going to do with the songs. And I love
Nice.
that moment
Yeah.
where we get, like, we always do the guitar bit first and then the
Brilliant.
vocal, like, bass track, don't we? And then we sit down and we're like, right. And that's my favorite bit, where we're both just like thinking of ideas and you're coming up with all of your harmonies because you're minute harmonies. And I don't know, I feel like if I planned it and I was like, oh, this would sound good with this and this, it wouldn't be as exciting.
Spontaneous. Yeah. I
I
remember
live
one
for
time.
spontaneity.
Yeah, speaking about spontaneity, I remember one time I was like bored on a Saturday afternoon, and I was like, I messaged Eve, and I was like, "Are you up to anything?" And she was like, "No, not really." I was like, "Do you want to come and like go in the studio, or whatever, and work on these songs?" She's like, "Yeah, all right." Then so she spontaneously came over. She bought some biscuits, so that's always good.
Yes, that's always
I think,
good.
I think she bought like
For those that are watching this podcast, Eve can make some fucking amazing biscuits,
and
you know,
cake.
and cake.
Yeah.
We've sampled many a biscuits and cake.
Many of biscuits.
Even though I've not been here some of the time, they've always saved me some. So yeah,
I know we do love you, really.
yeah.
And by sampled, he means snaffled.
Snap.
Nom, 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 nom,
Pretty
nom,
much.
nom.
Yeah, they've not lasted long at all. They are that good.
Can I go back to my?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
So so Eve would come over, and she was only here for about 3 or 4 hours because she had to go out in the evening for a meal or something. And she was like, I want marimbas. I want marimba.
Oh, yeah, I remember the marimba.
So he spent 4 hours putting this marimba in for her. And then she got to the end and she goes, I don't think I like marimbas. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh man, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was like, fuck, God.
But that's the beauty of it, because sometimes me and Rich can be in the studio and we can be working like for hours on end on like a 4-bar or an 8-bar beat. And then after spending hours and hours and hours on it, we just go, nah, and scrap it. You know, and that
can be the way.
Yeah, but so, you know, sometimes that you get that in the studio, but like you say, getting in the studio, not knowing what's going to happen, sometimes the best things happen.
How did you find recording to like? Because I know you don't normally do stuff in like rhythm because you do your own loosey goosey type crap with your
Loosey goosey crap.
And
That's a brilliant analogy.
And how did you find when you were recording Fingerprints and Cranberry in the studio? How did you like find with all that shit going on? Because obviously there's like synths and orchestras and drums and everything going on, basses everywhere doing weird shit.
Yeah, no, that didn't put me off at all, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I felt like, I don't know, because they're so different to what I normally do. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I felt like, it kind of felt like I was an imposter, I'm not going to lie, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's
I don't know. Still can't get my head around. I don't feel like I suit them, but then other people say it sounds good, so it's fine, I guess. But like,
well, they're the weird songs, like they're not like what we would usually do, but we just when we got cancelled on like 3 or 4 times or whatever, we were just like, oh, fuck it, we'll get someone else. And I immediately was like, you know, just try Eve, because I was just thinking like
sly.
Thank you. I was just thinking about the Massive Attack and Morcheeba type sound, where they don't have like traditional sounding like women singing on their records, and it just works really well, the kind of trip hop type stuff. And that's kind of like a lot of the inspiration for the album is that weirdness of trip hop. And I just thought, you know what, I reckon it'll sound really fucking good. So we tried Fingerprints and it was just so good. We're just like, yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So then when I did Cranberry, and we were like, should we get? And then I showed it to you, so we worked on it, and then be like, should we ask you to sing on it again? Because my vocals weren't working.
Because that song kind of like came quite late on.
Yeah, really late on,
in this album, whereas the majority of the songs are sort of like a year, 2, 3 years old. Whereas Cranberry, it was very fresh. It was new, and the beat when it drops and that bass and then obviously you've put them vocals on it, and it's just like this is just fucking cracking.
Yeah, it's a really good tune.
I love both of the songs, but I feel like even though there was all that stuff going on, they still both have a lot of freedom, like in the vocals. But I didn't feel like restricted, I guess. But
No, I mean we want you to come and do what you do, which was like, you know, because I'd sent you. I remember like when I knew I was like, this is gonna be great, was when I'd sent you the first, like I think I sent you the first a draft of Fingerprints or me singing the vocals for you. I think you sent me something back of you, or I heard you sing it the first time. I was like, she's changed pretty much everything. Like, it's just, every note is different. Like it's a similar, it follows a similar sort of line, but like it's all. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna sound great, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want someone just to copy what I was doing. I wanted someone to come and bring their personality to the song. So I was really pleased. I was like, yeah, fucking A, right? Yeah.
And I think that's part of your uniqueness, Eve.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
You bring your own personality to pretty much every song you sing on. So whether it's ours or whether it's your own, it's you.
Honestly, guys, you got to check.
It doesn't sound like anything else.
You got to check our album out when it's done. It's just amazing. There's like there's at least 7 bangers out of 12, which is pretty. And
what are the others then?
They're good. They're great. They're great songs. I just don't think they're like bangers.
I'm kidding.
No, I don't think any band's ever managed to get an album with 12 bangers. Well, some, maybe a few people have. But
Natural Antagonist did, didn't they, with the first album, wasn't it?
I love that.
They were all bangers, especially 1999, your favourite.
I was going to say that's a real band.
Well, it did get played on the radio. So
we paid that tonight for Phil, because he did the sound a little bit for us.
I love that
good.
one.
I think the new album's got some bangers. But yeah, Eve's album's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be ready soon, hopefully. If she decides not to re-record bits, we'll see.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it'll get done when it gets done. I mean, look at us, the amount of times we've gone back to an album and totally redone it, remixed it, or whatever it is. But, you know, it's never been happy with like the first cuts. But obviously you're working with some pros now. So, you know, you're more than likely going to like the first cut.
I can't remember who said this quote, but it's a really good quote. And it was like, deadlines are the enemy of creativity. I love that quote. I don't know who it came from, but it's a really good quote.
That's a great quote.
I love that, because as soon as you say, I've got to get it done by that amount of time, you're just limiting what you can do, you know?
It's like, oh, it's going to have to do. It's just like, no, that's not the thing. If you've got that, like,
it's got to be right,
0.001% of doubt, do something about it, you know?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Or say something, you know, but change things, you know. Otherwise, you know, you later on down the line, I think you'll end up maybe regretting it and going, oh, I wish I'd have done this now, or I wish I'd have just changed that bit at the time when I thought about it.
Have you written any songs since you've been in Japan, apart from the one you sent me? The Smiths
Just that one, but I've written like
some lyrics and stuff.
Loads of parts of songs. I've got honestly, it must be about 7 unfinished songs, and it's driving me mad. I hate it when I start writing one and the inspiration like dissipates, you know?
Could you not do a Bohemian Rhapsody Queen style, you know, just
bang them all together? Yeah,
cut 3 songs together, you know what I mean? Done. There you go. It's a song. 7 minutes long.
I mean, I could if I was some kind of charlatan, Rich, but
you call him Freddie Mercury. Charlatan, hilarious.
No, actually, Freddie Mercury is like one of my favourite people that's ever lived.
He's amazing. Well, Brian, amazing. The whole band's amazing.
They are, but I also love Freddie as a human.
Do you?
Yeah.
In terms of frontmen, he was just.
I'm pretty sure he was dead before you were even alive.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in terms of a front man. If you were ever in a band and wanted a front man, he was the man. He was head and shoulders above everybody of his time. I thought, you know, he was just that flamboyant sort of. I don't know. It's getting quite late. I'm struggling with my words now, but you know, he was just amazing for his time. I remember growing up with listening to a lot of Queen stuff on the radio. you didn't really see that much on the TV. But obviously, when they did Live Aid in '84, was it? I think 84, 87. I don't know. Quote me if I'm wrong. I'm sure somebody will when they see
sure
this
somebody will
podcast.
tell you. Like a
But
search on
that obviously
too tired.
that performance was.
Oh,
I mean, you
amazing.
watch it, but you watch it back today, and it just like it's head and shoulders above pretty much anything you'll ever fucking see.
I actually really enjoyed the film as well.
Yeah. Oh, with Rami Malek, it's fucking
Yeah, it's
brilliant.
really good.
He got an Oscar for that, I think, and you're well deserved.
Yeah, it was really good. Right, let's ask one more question and then wrap it up because it's like 1:45 and I think Dottie's gonna die or something. So
No, I'm fine. I'm just like voice is getting a little bit
yeah, we're
croaky.
starting to
And,
get tired. We're losing the will to create sentences. So we ask every.
have you noticed? Sorry to interrupt. Have you noticed how all of a sudden we've slouched down? I was probably up here before. Rich was probably like here. Well, Rich is always down here anyway. But
I got the dressing gowns. Curl up for this last question. Right, so we ask everyone this. If you and I reckon. If you could,
maybe,
stuff. Yeah. If you could be, if you had to be on a desert island with any band or person or musical artist or whatever for the rest of eternity or the rest of your lives, if they can be a dead or alive person, what band
or persons.
band would that be? Would that be? Oh, you've got an array of music. You've got
I mean, in fairness, I actually would choose you guys.
Yeah, I knew you would.
And I'm not even saying that because you're there and you want me to. But
I didn't want you to. I was just saying I reckon you would.
yeah, because you're fucking mint. And I think that musically we kind of like have hit it off. Also, you're like my two best mates. So like,
We'd have a whale of a time, I reckon.
Yeah.
we would. It would make no sense for me to choose any other band because, like, you know, even if I really like the music.
Oh, sorry. The milkman's just arrived.
Oh.
Is that what that is? I wondered why Chewie came down. He came downstairs
Sorry,
straight
everyone.
onto the windowsill.
That's the milkman.
Dudes.
Sorry, carry on, Eve. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
sorry, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just, you know, saying stuff you already know. Like any other band, they might end up being dickheads, right? But I already know that you guys are great, like musically and as company and human. So, like, yeah, no doubt.
Oh,
Would have a whale.
I'll take that any day.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't choose you though, you know.
I'm not sure that would be the case. We would, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe if like
I'd have to
if
think
five
about
other
it.
people had died before me, then you know.
Yeah, I'd say like you're about 37th. So if those 36 people die, sure. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for coming. You can check out Eve's videos from Centre Stage on YouTube.
The Centre Stage YouTube channel. You
Eve's
can
Facebook and stuff. What's your Facebook? Just Eve Thomas Music.
Eve Thomas Music. Eve
Well,
Thomas
there's
Music.
two, and
All
it's
right.
not the one that's not me. It's the one that's me.
Is there a picture of you on
There
the
was a
profile
picture.
people? No.
Of me, but I
Is
have
the-
bob hair.
Oh, okay. So you look like a girl that time, not.
But if you
boy.
go on the Natural Antagonist Facebook page, you'll see lots of. You'll just scroll down the feed. You'll find Eve Thomas Music down there quite easily, and
Yeah.
you'll be able to pinpoint the Eve Thomas because there's only one in my eyes.
There's only one. She really is awesome. We love her
Oh.
very much, and we're really glad we got to meet her and
Yeah,
do music
massively.
with her and hang out with her. And she's really cool.
But she did fuck
check her
off
out.
though, didn't she?
She did fucking leave. To be fair.
Back.
Yeah, I know. So if you come back, so you're coming back around Christmas time or something, aren't you?
Possibly.
Oh, I'm hoping to, but the flights are so fucking expensive. I'm hoping to, though. I'm hoping to.
Well, if you do, obviously,
If you like her music, give her
we need
some
to
money.
hook up, maybe get a gig, or even if it's not a gig, we'll still hook up
Oh, we'll definitely hang out. Yeah.
and hang out, and we'll do some stuff, and we'll we'll do a bit of a vlog or something like that, and make some more content, and just have a laugh.
Dottie loves his content. All right. Thank you very much, Eve. Have a great day, and we'll speak to you soon.
All right, I love you both.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye. See you later.
Bye. Bye.